Lakewood specifically? You hear those chuckles? Like, what? Why do you love Lakewood? Lakewood is the Austin, Texas of Cleveland, Ohio. It really is, because it's just a bunch of white hippies with dreadlocks with $500,000 to buy a house somehow. Like, you smoke weed with me all day, every day. Where did you get this money from? Lakewood is about as diverse as this room is right now, all right? It's me, him,
Sit on.
and whoever made your food in the kitchen. That is it. That is Guys, I am very excited to bring up your headliner. I started doing comedy here, and he is a mentor for a lot of us who do comedy. He takes us on the road. He gives us gigs. He's been very, very nice. So it's been my pleasure to work with him, and it's a pleasure to bring him up. So everybody, are we ready for our headliner? Give me some more energy, team. We're ready for our headliner. Give it up for Bill Squire.
Hey, thank you so much. Keep it going for my friends as assigned to me by Hilarities. I didn't pick this lineup, but it's nice to meet them all, though. It's cool. I didn't know I was so diverse. I'm like, oh, okay, look at it. Now, I've known all those guys a long time. John was talking about Lakewood and how it's not diverse. It's like, that's crazy. I live in a high-rise in Lakewood, and there's a ton of black people that work in my building. Oh, it's been a week. Let's start with the cold stuff, right? It's been really cold in Cleveland. I think Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday was the coldest it's been in Cleveland since like 1994. It's so cold and icy that the cops' wives actually did slip and fall to get those bruises. Yeah, this side of the room's like, yeah, we'll laugh at cops. And this side of the room's like, I saw one upstairs. I know him. Where's he at? Where you at, Chris? Stop hitting your wife. He's my friend. I always go, ha, when I see him. What else happened? Oh! Yeah, Elon. People are saying that at the inauguration that Elon did a Zig Heil Nazi salute, and then everybody else that wanted to defend him was like, no, he wasn't doing that. He was thanking the crowd from the bottom of his heart for not being Jewish. And then in Trump's speech, right off the bat, he's like, under my administration, there's only two genders, male and plaintiff. It's funny how when I make jokes, I already put that one online and people were like, oh, what are you even talking about? I'm like, rape. And they're like, you guys always make the same jokes. And I'm like, so you knew what I was talking about. So quit being stupid. Anyway, that's the only place me and my dad talk a lot these days. In my comments section. I still love my dad. We still hang out. We go shoot guns together. But I have to update the gun slogans because I'm liberal and he's not. So when I go to shoot guns with my dad, I'm like, you want this gun? You got to pry it from my cold, dead planet. Climate change is real. Guns don't kill people, them kills people. The only way to stop a bad guy with a gun is a good guy with a gun, and the only way to stop a good guy with a gun is if you're a snitch at McDonald's. That one brings everybody together. Imagine being one of the people that's defending that they're like, oh, I think what he did was really wrong. And like just being that lonely. Because it's like 99% of people that are like, yeah, that sucks that the guy got murdered, but fuck that guy because he was a piece of shit. And then there's always the one person, but you don't like violence, you're liberal. No, we like violence in the right direction. You never saw V for Vendetta? You can have a liberal agenda and be violent. So yeah, me and my dad, we get into it over stuff like that, but I love my dad. He is a conspiracy theorist from before the internet, which is that's a different level. Like if you're a conspiracy theorist now, that makes sense. You're bombarded with it. But he became a conspiracy theorist in a time when someone's like, here's a fact, and he's like, no. And they're like, why not? And he's like, I have a hunch. You know how people will just make a documentary and put it on YouTube? It's like a homemade documentary and be like, there it is. He had that shit on VHS. Like that was our movie collection. It was like Disney movies for the kids, and my dad's weird homemade documentaries he'd get out of weird magazines, and my friends would come over and they'd be like, let's watch a movie. I'm like, okay, we got Aladdin or Timothy McVeigh, Misunderstood Patriot. And they're like, I already saw Aladdin. I'm like, okay, get ready, it's long. It's 2 tapes. I always hated when movies were 2 tapes because the second tape would always get lost. So somebody wouldn't put it back. You're like, oh, I want to watch the second half of Titanic. Not because I don't know how it ends, but that's the side that the tits were on. But it was always like you go to get the second tape out, and it was just like the Rugrats movie. You're like, God damn it, I knew that. I knew the second tape wasn't orange. There's some Gen Zers or younger that are like, what is happening right now? Tapes, orange tapes, VHS, I don't know what any of these things are. Good. I like to hold that over your head. That's why you guys aren't kind. You didn't rewind. You could tell a lot about a person if they rewind their tape. Like, oh, it's a good person right there. That was the putting the shopping cart back in the corral thing for the 80s and 90s. If you rewound the tape and put it, and also it was not really a be kind rewind thing. They charge you a fee. Like if you didn't rewind the tape, it was like an extra 50 cents or $1.50 or something like that. And so it wasn't like be kind rewind. It's like, we know you're not Jewish, but you want to save a little money, don't you? And if you are Jewish, you already did it, you know. All right, that was weird. I never did that joke before. So I have kids too. Let me talk about my kids for a little bit. I have 3 kids. They're my stepkids. They're all grown up now. It used to be a great thing. Now it's just like I pay for their phones and stuff. Like it's cool. Like it's great because like they're grown ups now. And like my youngest is trans. Has everybody heard that from me before? You know about my trans son? Yep. Yeah. Okay. So if you don't know, what happened was he went to school. He read like 8 books, and then he became trans. And he's like, I did this so you could get a pizza from Pizza Hut. I'm like, I appreciate it. Yeah. They don't call it book it anymore, it's book them. No, he came out to me when he was like 11 or 12 years old, and he was like, hey, I feel this way. I'm like, okay. And honestly, when someone in your life tells you that, especially like a child, I was like, okay, this is probably a phase. But then he started making the appointments on his own, and I'm like, oh, I've never seen him determined to do anything. And not like, oh, I'm unhappy that he's like he was becoming a happier person, so I was happy with that. I just hate going to Metro. Like that's not a fun hospital to go to. So we went through all the steps. He it's a long process. Anybody who thinks it's like a quick process is crazy. Also, it's really hard to be a trans ally because the people that are like super into supporting trans people are really mean. Like I've talked about being an advocate for him, and there's people that are trans allies, that are trans people, and they're like, you didn't use any of the right terms and terminology, and you dead gendered him, or all this different stuff. Trying to be a trans ally is like asking somebody to teach you to play euchre. Right? It's like, hey, can I play? And they're like, do you know how to play? I'm like, I want to learn how to play. And they're like, fuck you. You either know how to play or you don't, but we're not here to teach you how to play euchre. You go learn that somewhere else. And I'm like, buddy, aren't you guys wouldn't it be easier if you just taught me? I can learn things. They're like, ha ha ha. We're just going to ostracize you. Anybody here ever been bullied by a teacher? Yeah. What happened? Do you remember it? Who was it that said it over here? Oh, yeah. How'd you get bullied by a teacher?
He was a history teacher, and he didn't enjoy that I knew history.
Oh, he didn't enjoy that you knew history? Oh, so you were just, I hate that. That's not getting bullied. Like, I'm talking like I was stupid, and they're like, hey, you're stupid. Not like, you're challenging me, I'm going to be mean to you. We're not relating to that. My situation was we were learning the states, and we all had to read a state out loud, and we go around the room, and the first state that I had to read out loud was Arkansas, and I was like, Arkansas? Yeah. And my teacher was like, wrong. And I was like, I don't know, I never heard of this place before. And then the next state I had to read out loud was Kansas, and I was like, Kansas. And the teacher's like, wrong again, Bill! It's Arkansas and Kansas. And I was like, well, it should be Arkansas and Kansas, or Arkansas and Kansas. That's how it should be. And she said, well, Bill, it's not that way. And I know that's confusing to you, but I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of things that are confusing to you throughout your life. So get used to it, because in math later, I'm going to teach you that a negative times a negative is a positive. And I was like, that's gay, because it was the 90s. And she goes, no, Bill, that's not gay. Don't say that. Well, if anything, it's lesbian. Bill Squire! Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys being here. This is a big night for me. I've been doing comedy for 20 years. And I worked on the radio in Cleveland for 12 years. And then they cut me loose back in November. So tonight is the start of my whole the whole life that I'm going back to. Like, I'm back on the road, and this is my new tour, and you get, I'm loose, I'm here, it's the whole me. Welcome to my loose but whole tour. I'm starting it at the top, a Mexican restaurant in Cincinnati that got hit hard by the deportations from what I can see. Because I look back there and there's pretty white in this Mexican restaurant in Cincinnati. So I'm sorry that you guys lost your flavor. The food's still good. They still have the recipe, so it's fine. But it is, there's no Hispanics, I think, in this whole city. And I think the deportation started a while ago, because I've come to Cincinnati a lot of times and I'm yet to meet a Mexican here. You guys are like, no, they're here. And they're loud. Yeah. Are there any Mexicans in here? Anybody Mexican? Smart. You didn't fall for it. I'm working with ICE. I was going to be like, get him! My mom and dad have been married for 48 years. Nah. That's too long. And I'll tell you why I know it's too long, because all my mom ever talks about is how excited she is for my dad to die. Over the summer, she called me. She's like, hey, when your dad dies, can you take me to a baseball game? I was like, we can just go to a baseball game. And she's like, yeah, but it'd mean more to me if he was dead. It is so sad, but it's a very true thing that my mom said. And it made me very happy in a weird way, because I'm like, I knew it. I knew you guys weren't actually happy. I knew you were just running out the clock. And here's how I knew my mom wants my dad gone, because for a long time, whenever he's had something where he's like had to go to the hospital, my mom gets really excited. Yeah, and here's the thing. One time, the last time he had something really serious happen, he had a heart thing, and he was in the hospital, and it was around the time that Caitlyn Jenner came out as trans. And my mom was like, hey, are you going to go visit your dad in the hospital? And I was like, yeah. And she's like, while you're there, would you mind telling him about Caitlyn Jenner? And I was like, I don't think he needs to know about Caitlyn Jenner while he's in this delicate condition. And she's like, I think he does. And I think he needs to hear it from you. And I want you to use all those gay terms you use. And so I went and I told him about Caitlyn Jenner, and it did not kill him. It got my grandpa, though. He was 96 on hospice, and I was like, hey, well, I'm over here. I might as well pop in and say what's up to Grandpa. And I was like, hey, Grandpa, you hear about Bruce Jenner transitioning to be Caitlyn Jenner? And he's like, he did what? And I said, she did what? But he was in hospice. It was gonna happen anyway. It just happened in a really fun way. like I got to kill somebody, but not really. Like, it was kind of awesome. That's like that's like when abortion feels like, right, ladies? like you killed somebody, but not really. So it's like, it's powerful. These white Mexicans think that's funny. All right, maybe I should get a real job. I don't know, guys. This loose but whole tour might not work out after all. All right, what else? Oh, so my parents, 48 years, and my mom hangs out with me more, which is weird because we never really hung out that much, but I think she's just so sick of my dad that she's hanging out with me and misbehaving around me, and I don't like that because my parents are Mormon, so they don't like do bad things, but my mom decided to swear in front of me for the first time ever the other day, and it was terrifying. We're watching the news, and there's a story about a guy that put a camera in a bathroom so he could watch women go to the bathroom. Right? You've heard these stories before? Yes. And my mom, we're watching it, I go, Mom, make sure you check for cameras in public restrooms when you go to public restrooms. And she's like, yeah. That guy must have really wanted to see those ladies' cunts. Whoa! That's not... Don't say... We don't say that word for the thing. That's not how we use that word in America. Like, if you want to call someone an asshole and take it to another level, then you bring out the C word. You don't call the thing that. You don't call the apparatus that. That's crazy. So I was like, Mom, don't swear. And she's like, you're being a real pussy right now. And I was like, Jesus Christ. And she's like, don't take the Lord's name in vain. And so I've had that rattling around in my brain for weeks now, and I hate it. And because your brain's like, why would your sweet Mormon mother use the C word to describe a woman's vagina? And I come to a conclusion, and I hate it, but I'm going to share it with you guys because I think it's also amazing and kind of romantic. I think my parents have been married for 48 years, and I think they are still physical with each other, and I think they like to keep things a little bit spicy, and that generation doesn't do some of the stuff younger generations do, like choking. Like, they don't choke for fun, they choke because they mean it. But I think they do dirty talk, and I think that's a word that my parents incorporate into their dirty talk when they're getting on with each other. And so now I need a volunteer for a lady. Are you comfortable yelling the C word as loud as you can?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. And I know there's a guy who's like, I'll do it if she doesn't. Listen, I know a guy will yell the C word and point at every woman in here. I don't need that. I need a woman that's going to really give it the oomph, because I don't want to keep saying it. So I'm going to have you, when I point to you, I need you to yell it as loud as you can, okay? And just kind of go with the scenario. So I think there's a situation where my parents are together and my dad will say something like, whose
Cut!
is this was that was good. That was really good. That was good. But we're not done yet. Because then I think Sue is like, it's Jim's.
You can't.
You no, not you. Why'd you add you? It sounded good. You are a lucky man. This is a spicy one right here. Don't get any spicier. You'll get deported too. You're already pretty tan for Ohio in January, so. Yeah, you turned it back into the other one. You didn't. Yeah, the good one, the different one. I don't know if I want to say the good one or the bad one. I just want to say it's a different one. So I appreciate your ad lib there, but now you've given me more to think about. The good news, I'll show this to my dad later, and he's like, yeah, that'll work. That would get it done. Don't need no hymns for that night. So yeah, it's an interesting time to be just interacting with my dad. I feel like a lot of people have these weird interactions with family members where they're like, we don't quite align, or it's actually really toxic. I'm lucky that me and my dad still get along, and I actually found a girlfriend that she's like, we don't see eye to eye politically, but we get along. And usually when you date somebody, guys are always like going after, they say that like, oh, you want to marry your mother. You're going to marry your mother, or you're going to date someone that's like your mom. My girlfriend's actually more like my dad. And I told my dad that. I'm like, ooh, my girlfriend grew up in a trailer like you. And he goes, modular home. And I was like, but you can't use pronouns. We met on Bumble. You know that dating app? That's the dating app where women get to talk first. And I'm looking forward to my turn. Yeah, she's a yapper. She goes. She's Jewish. This is the first time I've ever dated a Jewish person. And turns out they don't mind spending other people's money. You guys like the Jew jokes. I love that. That's great. Any Jewish people in here? Get him! You can do that joke all night with anybody. Just be like, are you that? Get him! But how long you been Jewish, sir? Yeah. Like, how old are you, though? 36.
Birthday.
Oh, it's your birthday! Happy birthday! Mazel tov! Did you get anything special for your birthday?
Yeah. Fancy dinner last night.
Oh, nice. Where at?
Blowjob.
And a blowjob. Okay. You sure you're not Jewish too? Because I've heard some things. Did you guys meet on Bumble? Can I talk to him? All right. Well, dinner was good last night. Yeah. Right. And then tonight, did you guys have dinner here? Or no. No, okay. Oh, because I got rid of the Mexicans. You're like, oh, the food's good. I ate here. It's good. And how'd you guys meet?
At a bar.
At a bar. Nice. The old-fashioned way. Mm-hmm. Just one root. No, I'm kidding. That's terrible. Why do I do that? Why do I do that? I had you guys back. You were back on my side, and I make the worst joke you can make in that situation. That's good. You approached her? No, okay. She's like, I just told everybody I sucked his dick last night. Of course I'm the one that went up to him. Yeah. She's like, I need my work to go noticed. She's like, I think those bitches that do OnlyFans are greedy. I post it for free. What do you do for a living, sir? Sales. Oh, you missed. Thank you. You got it. Jewish people are supposed to have different jobs. I'm just playing off the stereotypes because they're offensive. One at a time will get you. And then, what do you sell?
Beer.
Beer. Oh, buddy. What kind of beer? All of it, or?
No, Urban Artifact.
Urban Artifact. Ooh, that sounds. Is it? Yeah. Do they sell it here?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll try one after the show. Yeah. All right. Well, he's good. I didn't even know I was getting sold, and he sold me. I might have you help with my merch pitch later.
To show them how loud Cincinnati can get, as I welcome to the stage, Bill Squire!
Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much. My name is Bill. I am from Cleveland. This is my first week of many on the road this year, and I'm starting off with a bang in this Mexican restaurant. And boy, immigration worked fast here. You see that kitchen? Those are Mexicans. They're like, we need some whites in there. So, food's still good, don't worry. They kept the recipes, but everybody else's. The people's is gone. I mean, look how fast they changed the art. I don't think these guys, they didn't really start this restaurant. They're like, yeah, all right, we're going to round them up and then put this painting up. What is she doing? I don't think she was supposed to be there. Right? Like, they're like, all right, let's do this painting, everybody. We're all wearing the same thing. And then she's like, well, they better put a woman in it. And they're like, God damn it, all right. Cool. The Tom's wife in the back. Not even matching the outfits. Well, can you at least wear a hat? Well, then I'm not going to look like me. All right, she doesn't got to wear a hat. You guys are close enough. You can see there is cum. I thought it was no. Okay. I don't have a lot of art in my house, so I didn't know it was going to move like that. Oh, it's been cold, right? Yeah, I'm from Cleveland. It was cold in Cleveland. It's cold down here. It's icy. It's so icy and slippery down here that the cops' wives actually did fall to get those bruises. Cops hit their wives. Any cops in here tonight? There was on the early show. His wife laughed and bam! She's like, I knew I shouldn't have done that. What's the stereotype about engineers? What's your guys' stereotype?
Bad with women.
Bad with women? Nailed it. How many are there? There's 6 of you guys? Not a fucking vagina even near you. This lady's like, yeah, like, they all make good money, but you're just like, still, no. I'll go with your brother. I don't know if you guys noticed this, but this guy looks like me in 4 years, and then that guy looks like me in like 12 years. I love Ohio. Like, I love that. Like, I don't need to do Ancestry.com. I'm like, we're not related, but we're brothers. Like, I love, her fingers are crossed. Last time he had a serious issue was around the time he had a heart, not an attack, but like a heart thing where he had to spend a few days, something like that. Yeah, whatever, Jew. And you stay in your lane, engineer. You're not a doctor. You still let your mom down. And that's the thing that me and my dad like clash on, because he's got very conservative views on gay people and trans people, and he's like, trans people they're not, it's not a thing, or he calls them groomers all the time, or he calls drag queens groomers, and I'm like, send me one article where it's a drag queen assaulting a kid, and I'll send you about 5,000 more where it's your church friends doing it. There's actually more pedophiles in churches than there are trans people on the entire planet. Like, the numbers are crazy. And yeah, so it's still church people that are fucking kids the most, which is horrible. But I'm a bright side kind of guy, so like Catholics, your numbers are way down, so good job, Catholics. Don't high five over it. You still lost to Ohio State. Yeah. What's the Notre Dame cry? Yeah, move the priest. I don't know.
Mercy.
But the Notre Dame did beat Penn State in the pedophile bowl, so good for them. My girlfriend's Jewish, and this is the first time I ever dated a Jewish person. Yes. And it turns out they don't mind spending other people's money. Still want to clap? He's like, yeah, I'll spend your money. Yeah, the reason you have to bring an ID for a birthday at a Denny's. Because I lie. It's my birthday again. It's like, you were here yesterday. That was like, we all look alike. You thought you were being racist. And I know there's some people in here like, that was black people. You hear that? That's the black person laughing. So go ahead and just allow it. And you guys are like, Bill, don't make jokes about black people. You think you make jokes about black people because you got black friends? Like, no, I don't have black friends. But I do have fat white daughters, so I spend a lot of time with black people.